So this is about when we embody our true light, our true self, dress how we want, speak how we want, we're fully embodied in whatever vessel we've incarnated in whichever timeline we've picked. Healthy, unhealthy, whatever in the external realm, but this is it. We're loving it. We're just moving through it, and there's some weird energies. And we've all, well, maybe not all, experienced people laughing at us and people's reactions to us. And so, I mean, back in the day, they used to say sticks and stones can break our bones, but words will never hurt us, which is obviously kind of completely irrelevant these days, as we know how powerful words are. But, oopsie. In terms of why somebody might be laughing, I think there's like a few reactions that we can take from somebody else's like experience of us. 111 on the clock. If someone's laughing, that's a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's at us, with us, whatever. If we're embodied, if we love ourselves, if we're doing what we need to do, whether we find ourselves in a dip or a high, life's full of challenges, up and down. Things come in as gifts and curses, and whatever, we flow through it. But laughter is good. It's medicine. So if we are activating something in someone else, if it's laughter, even if it's laughing at us, that's medicine. They clearly need healing somewhere. Obviously, also, sorry, I don't know why it obviously keeps coming out, but anyway. Also, laughter comes out through nervous energy. So when someone doesn't know how to react to an unknown energy, like a small-mindedness sort of perspective, that is what the triggering is, that is what the reaction is. Laughter can be just a nervous reaction to seeing someone embody their light, be in their full light. So what have we got? We've got laughter's medicine. That person's healing. We are evoking something inside of them. And again, I'm not saying we can heal others. It's just how energies interact, like the frequencies and the vibrations. And I'm not saying that we need to stay around people that are laughing at us or have funny reactions to us. But when we claim our divine light, when we claim our birthright, when we claim our place on this planet, and we are free to move beyond borders or wherever, because we are respectable beings and we're living in light and love, and regardless of how other people perceive us, because again, like, it's very limited as to who actually sees us truly on this realm. So being nice to someone is really different from being kind-hearted. I've experienced people ignoring me here recently, people that they may have considered themselves being nice to me, and because I didn't respond in ways that they desired, it changes the reaction. When I don't have issues with people here, I won't accept silly behaviour like that, so we move differently. And again, that's about our energies, how our energies are either aligning or not aligning. It's vibrational match. This is not about whether we dislike or like someone's character anymore. It's just, if the energy's off, the energy's off. It doesn't need to be a negative thing, but if it doesn't soothe our soul, if there is something that's continually saying, like, move along, move ahead, move away, we must honour that. So in terms of us who are on a conscious path, because we're embodying our light, we love who we are, we wear wacky things, we do whatever we want. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm saying the embodied soul. Many of us are doing that right now. 4:04 on the clock. The wheels of karma are turning, and so every time they come round again, we get the choice to level up, to become a better version of ourselves, or to repeat patterns and cycles. And so the more that we embody, God, this is quite a fast, intense channel. The more that we embody our light and just move through the world as we need to move, one might say that is healing. We are healing ourselves. Therefore, the energy that we radiate outwards is going to activate or affect others in different ways. And so that is why I say nervousness can be laughter. Laughter's medicine. So medicine would also be healing for other people, to see somebody else living their life, living their dream, living their love, living their kooky, quirky ways, living their heart-led life. We don't need to be. It's not about riches and wealth is very, like, what will come more over this next decade in terms of abundance and wealth. And we're not delulu. Like, we live in the real world. We've got to do things to maintain income, or to club together with people, or to reduce our outgoing, like practical world stuff. But when we are talking about wealth and abundance, it's way more than money, because that's just one frequency. And so as this, people call it New Earth, I don't really know what it is, because new, old, I feel like I've been here for millennia. So whatever's coming has not been experienced by many of us on this realm before in ways. Some people might have been having visions and connections to this New Earth for years and years and years. So to say it's new, we're probably repeating some stories that people have been prophesizing and talking about for millennia. But anyway, God, I feel like there's really quite a few people here with me right now. So in terms of embodying our light, we need to ignore the reactions of others, really. We need to be so rooted in our own sovereignty and our own love and our own light, and our own solitude. Like, we're not lonely. Yes, it's we seek connection. We don't seek anything, like, we desire connection as human social beings on the realm. That's like what we know. That's basic human psychology. But we're also at a place where we're beyond the humanness of our being. We are never alone. A lot of us are connecting to galactic guides, to things way beyond the physicality of our existence. And so we can be on our own and be connected to people all the time. It's just whether we're connected to souls that also live in that realm of engaging with the space-time continuum differently. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, so please do not get deterred by the reactions of others as we embody more and more our wholesomeness, our wholeness, our nourished and nurtured selves, with a mix of play and whatever. You know, we're not purists here. We just do what we do until we stumble. We can't do it. I don't believe in the I can't, but it's a bit like jarring, and then take a break, and then whatever. But we're on the roller coaster of life, this strange and beautiful human and not only human existence. 8:08 on the clock. And we start to interpret the reactions of others very differently. Like, someone laughing at us, like, why would that bother me? You know, we read energy differently. If somebody has that reaction to someone, whether it's whoever anybody is, like, we don't need to define, I don't do the pronoun thing, but anyway, you know, like sexuality, body type, physicality, any of the physical realm stuff, like, we are way beyond that right now. And so, like, we don't need anybody else's validation from the external realm. It's nice to be in like soul, like-minded company, but we don't need to change whoever we are, the way we speak, to be validated by anybody that we spend time with. If it's not aligned, it's not aligned. We move away from those people. If it's aligned, great. We don't need to be validated, because we are seen. Our souls are speaking in ways that I'm not sure that they have before, because so many of us are claiming a soul and heart-led existence and taking the lessons from the material world and the era of capitalism. And there's, listen, every decade or every, you know, what would you call it, period? I don't know, God, I've got so many. Every part of history has its blessings and its curses, its lessons and its blessings. So it's important to trust ourselves as a divine mirror for whoever we interact with. But no one's perfect, and no one's out here saying, I am number one. I mean, we are the creators. We are number one in our own reality. That doesn't mean we're right. We have our truth, the truth of others, and the truth, you know, in between those two, you know, blurred lines or whatever. What's that song? Oh, anyway, God. Clearly there's some interesting energy coming through in the world, because this is what I know that I get like when new stuff is coming through into my brain and I'm not fully landed, but I get called to share, as we know. And just being real, like, you know, I feel very grounded and very rooted, but when new stuff comes through, we have to let it in, we have to feel it, we have to hear it, we have to speak it. Otherwise we'll end, like, we don't expand. And I think this started off as the reaction in others that we have, which really is just small-mindedness. If somebody else is judging us in ways small-minded, like, we shouldn't really care how somebody approaches life. If they're doing it in love and light, doesn't matter. Like, that's the code. I have to stop now, because I think there's a few things coming through about codes and cracking codes and some numbers. But anyway, surely there'll be something in there for somebody. Sorry for the brain freeze or whatever. But how somebody else approaches life is really none of our business. Their reaction to us is none of our business. Like, we just keep it moving, we keep it fresh, 1144 on the clock, and we lead with love and respect, and when that's met, great, divine mirror aligns, and when it's not, we move away. And we're not living in a space anymore where we can't speak honestly about what we desire for ourselves and what we know we're worth. And that also that means shutting people down sometimes, and walking away from people who are acting petty and silly with things because they don't get their own way. So, and again, throughout all of this is we observe ourselves as well. It's like, have I been balanced today? Like, have I pushed things through ego, or am I leaning into my soul, into our souls? All right, I'm done with words tonight, I think. All right, apologies, mate. I don't know why I said sorry